initial experience, it was, and even then I was in a lot of combative martial arts, and it was a very raw class, but it was real. That was the one thing that I remember. It wasn't PC, if you will. It was, this is what happens and this is what we do to address it. And the realism of that course really attracted me to it, because it didn't feel fake necessarily. It wasn't like they were trying to impress administrators, if you will. They were trying to make the officers better. One thing about the ISR is it's stayed consistent. So, and it's built. It's built from that consistency, meaning we have the vertical core. So we started with that vertical core, and that vertical core has went into the horizontal core, and then we have our weapons core, and then it's developed into undercover SWAT tactics, room entries. And it all bases still off of that vertical core, and it's grown. The interesting thing about it is you can dial it up and you can dial it down. So it can be used by itself as its own lone system, or you can put it in and interject it into somebody else's. You can use a component of it, or you can use the entire system. So just the development of it and the structure, that's the one thing I would think over the years that it's been done, is it's been fine-tuned and really smoothed out. One, it's the consistency, and two, it is the heart of it is the teaching methodology. It is 100% the teaching methodology of the course. The way it's implemented, the way it's drilled, the way it's presented in context, all of that is what makes ISR separate from all the others. One, being a trainer, so again, 19 years of my law enforcement career, 18 of that has been an instructor in multiple disciplines. And now being an administrator, you look at your resources and pulling them off of the street and getting the most that you can out of your training time. With the ISR, because again, the training methodology and how it is implemented, and because, and for lack of a better word, the simplicity of it, doesn't mean that it's not, it's valid, or someone would say just it's simple, it wasn't as valid, but it is. It is simple, so it's easy to learn, and I can do it in a smaller time frame. And I can do pull-out training, for instance. So I could have one of my sergeants, I would task them with putting together pull-out training so that we wouldn't affect how many officers are on the street. So then they could pull a set of officers out for 2 hours, and another set, and then I could do that next week, and I would get a lot more training out of that. I'd get a lot more for that retention for my officers. And trying to get them to understand the ISR at that time. Once I got to the new agency, I'd implemented it there, and then another agency, very curious about the system, and then it was like wildfire. Once the other agency saw it, and it went all the way into now developed into the academy level in my valley. And there's a good 9 or 10 agencies in my valley that now incorporate ISR one way or another.